Hey, it's Master Bong Table here. Jeff from Saskatoon has been blowing up my DMs, wondering about the abstract rectangle, how do kind of multiple charges work into a bigger regiment. So here I've just set up a couple minis, give you guys examples. This is mostly just all for Jeff. I'm just throwing it up on the YouTube because, you know, people want to know this. This is a very specific answer to a very specific question, but it does come up a lot. So a couple things first. What is the abstract rectangle? The abstract rectangle has been talked about before. It is basically you have a regiment here, and this space that has the blank stand counts as part of the regiment's area it'll take up. Like you could still put friendly stands there, so if this Sealed Temple unit is friendly to that Ashen Dawn unit, they can occupy that spot because they're fine. They're not on the regiment at all. They can be there. However, if an enemy regiment wanted to interact with this regiment, that abstract rectangle that you now see, they can use that to measure their, I believe they can use it to get their charge distance because that's part of their rectangle. But the big thing that it's for is engagement. So this unit of mounted squires charges the side of the Ashen Dawn. Mounted squire with the banner, he's engaged with Ashen Dawn, he's good. Leader mounted squire, corner to corner on the Ashen Dawn, good. This axe mounted squire, I don't know if you can see that, whatever. He's not engaging any of the Ashen Dawn, but he is through the abstract rectangle that says he would interact with this square, what's part of the abstract rectangle, so he would get his full attacks in. All right, cool. So then we get into Jeff's next question. What happens when stands die and you get into a weird position? So this usually comes up if you're trying to make a charge and you... How can I explain this better? Okay, so I'm going to redo it. I'm not going to edit this, because why not? So he's basically asking, what do I do with a regiment when I can't like complete closing the door? So let's say you hit here, there's another enemy regiment right here. You obviously can't close because you'll hit the enemy regiment. What does this do? Your opponent's regiment will wheel into you. Like so. That was the first one. So Jeff and anyone else who wants to watch this for information, your opponent will wheel into you. If they can do so. If they cannot do so, let's say you connect. This guy is over more. You cannot close because you will hit this enemy regiment. You will not... your friendly regiment, or sorry, your enemy regiment will not be able to close because they will also hit the friendly regiment. Once you close, I believe, I would have to look at the rulebook a little better for this, it's just off the top of my head. I believe you push all the enemy regiments away, or it's when you connect. But this instance does happen, and I'm just kind of shortening it for brevity's sake to give these examples much easier because this does happen. In this instance, because your mounted squire unit cannot close the door, as I've just demonstrated, you would back off at a minimum 1 inch to your last legal position. So these guys would just go 1 inch away. Done. That's it. They failed their charge. Activation over. Okay, so then we get into the next one of Jeff's questions. What happens to regiments when stands are in contact with die, and who moves into contact with you? So mounted squires, charge in. We're not being mounted squires. We'll do the Sealed Temple. Charge in. They connect here for some reason. Okay. Abstract rectangle gone. Get rid of that. They do a bunch of damage. Let's say they do 1 million damage in the world. Kill an Ashen Dawn. Kill another Ashen Dawn. What happens at this point? Well, because you're a regiment and you are the active player and this is the active regiment, you would slide over to maintain contact with that enemy regiment. Your enemy regiment only moves during that flush step of the charge. You're onto the clash step. You need to reestablish that. If for some reason you can't reestablish that, so let's say, I don't know, there's another regiment here or something, like you're going to hit a piece of terrain, whatever. You can't. You are now disengaged. You can then activate this regiment next turn or whatever and re-perform the charge and get in there. Okay, cool. Then I get into Jeff's, I don't know, 4th or 5th question at this point. Doing hard. So let's just shove the Ashen Dawn back there. So what happens when this goes on? So, also Knights charge into Ashen Dawn. Come on, guys. This is what I get for playing horses. They do a bunch of damage. They kill this guy. Mounted Squires charge into Ashen Dawn. Do a bunch of damage. They kill this guy. Cool. Breaking minis already. Get over there. Next, Steel Temple charge in. They go here. They fight Ashen Dawn. Now, who dies next? So let's say these guys all have 6 moons. They deal a bunch of damage, kill a guy. You want to get rid of this guy because he's engaging your Steel Temple. The last guy to die is your leader, so then you have to pick your 2 sides. So you don't pick the side that's engaging with the current active regiment. What's the Steel Temple? You would get rid of this guy. He's dead. Okay, cool. That frees up the Mounted Squires. They can but they're no longer engaging the Ashen Dawn currently because that stands dead. All right, Steel Temple, keep doing damage, kill this Ashen Dawn, get rid of him. Now what happens? Well, you would then move in to engage that Ashen Dawn. Well, what if you can't? You know, maybe there's another unit of Ashen Dawn. He's just hanging out back here. And just 1 stand left. He's had a rough day. Well, these guys will once again become unengaged because this Ashen Dawn is currently engaged with this regiment, and he can't leave, and he's the leader model. And you can't move in because you're going to hit this other Ashen Dawn before you get to that guy. So you just kind of sit there, do nothing, and you can charge and figure it out next turn. And this is where stuff kind of gets messy in the game of Conquest, and this is kind of why I'm like, all right, I'm going to break up a couple examples here, give you an idea what you're looking at, some scenarios you might encounter as you play the game. Just to finish it off, yeah, this guy can't leave because he's engaged with these guys. He's no longer engaged with the Mounted Squires. The Steel Temple can't get in, so they are free to do charging clashes. Mounted Squires are free to do charging clashes. House of Knights and Ashen Dawn are still engaged. I hope that was really helpful. Yeah, that's it. Bye.